Hi, my name is Leanne. I'm a librarian and I love stories. Some of my favorite stories are fairy tales. I've loved fairy tales since I was a little girl. But sometimes when you hear a story over and over again, you wish it could feel new and exciting like it did the first time you heard it. One way that fairy tales can become new and exciting again is if the author changes something about the story to make them just a little bit different. The story I have for you today is based on the story of Cinderella. Do you remember the story of Cinderella? Maybe somebody read the story to you when you were small, or perhaps you saw the movie with the adorable little mice. Cinderella is a familiar story. There's a beautiful young woman named Cinderella. She lives with her wicked stepmother and stepsisters, and they treat her very badly. There's a royal ball that the young unmarried women are invited to so that they can meet the prince. Cinderella wants to attend this ball, but her stepsisters tear up her dress and they leave her behind. So Cinderella's fairy godmother steps in and clothes Cinderella in a beautiful gown and sends her in a coach made from a pumpkin. Cinderella dances with the prince, but at the stroke of midnight she has to leave or the magic will wear off. So she runs away, leaving behind a single glass slipper. The prince takes the slipper and travels the kingdom, having women try it on to see if they are the princess that he met that night. The stepsisters try to keep Cinderella from trying on the slipper, but when she does, the prince realizes that she is his princess, and they marry and live happily ever after. The book I'm going to show you today is called The Rough-Faced Girl by Rafe. It is a Cinderella story, but it has some serious differences from the original story. For one thing, this Cinderella story doesn't have a palace. It's set in an Algonquin village. The Algonquin were a tribe from Canada, so this version of Cinderella's story is already pretty different, isn't it? In the story, Cinderella is always beautiful, but if you look at the cover of the book, the girl is hiding her face. The rough-faced girl has two sisters. And they treat her very badly. They're wicked and cruel, and they make her tend the fire all day. She becomes burnt and scarred, and her sisters tell her that she is ugly. Now, in this village lives an invisible being. I will show you his wigwam. Here it is. Isn't it lovely? He is supposed to be very powerful and very handsome, but the only one who can marry him is the one who can see him. The wicked stepsisters or sisters decide they want to marry this man, so they dress in their finest clothes, and they prance through the village and head for the wigwam of the invisible being. But here, they encounter the invisible being's sister. And she will not let the girls into the wigwam. She tells them that if they've seen the invisible being, they must tell her, what's his bow made of? The girls cannot answer. She then asks, what's the runner of his sled made of? And again, they cannot answer. So she takes them into the wigwam and lets them spend the night. And all night long, they stare and they wait and they listen, but all they can hear is breathing, and they can see nothing except the bow moving as it's being handled by the invisible being. There's nothing left for the rough-faced girl to make beautiful clothes out of, but she puts together her very best outfit. Her father gives her some old moccasins and some shells. She uses birch bark and reeds to make a dress. And then she heads off to the wigwam of the invisible being. All the people come out to laugh and make fun of her, but she does not cry or turn back. She just keeps walking to the wigwam of the invisible being. So, what do you think will happen to the rough-faced girl? Will she be able to see the mysterious invisible being? Or will she have to go back and tend the fire for her cruel sisters? You'll have to read the story to find out.